Hello. Uh, we got some good news. Link's Awakening. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening was announced a couple days ago for the Nintendo Switch. And I'm going to describe the trailer that was released to you in great detail. Alright, and it's loading. The Nintendo Switch logo. The rating is pending. Is the black screen. The first scene that we see in the trailer is a couple of bubbles rising from the depths of an ocean, a dark, deep blue ocean, with lighter colored bubbles rising towards the surface. We can't see the surface. The camera is pointed towards the bottom of the ocean. The camera pivots up towards the sky, but the camera is still underneath the top of the water, and we can see turbulent water up above, and as the bubbles rise onto the surface of the water, the water crests the camera crests the water surface. It crosses the water surface boundary, and now we can see pretty steep waves with white frothing tips crashing left and right, and we see the peaks of the waves. In the background we see clouds, very dark clouds, black clouds in the top part, and lighter blue clouds in the lower part of the sky. We see a lightning strike in the distance, and we just see a bunch of waves peaking all over the place. Currently the camera is about half a foot off the water surface. The next scene shows the same scene actually, shows a massive wave with what appears to be a long eyeball shaped black ship in the middle of the wave, and it's cresting. The next scene shows lightning striking in the sky, in a dark clouded night sky, and that just flashes for a second. The next scene shows Link grabbing onto a rope which is wrapped around his arm, his entire arm, about one time, and then it continues to wrap around over his shoulder, so he can get a good firm grasp on the rope. He's extending his left hand. That's what is on the rope, and we just see the back of the left part of his head, the back of it, and the back part of his shoulder. He's on top of a brown ship that looks like it has cargo up front, like a basic boat. It seems like he's holding on to the mast, the part that sticks up right out of the boat, the long part. It's a very basic wood boat. On the mast there appears to be some type of rigging where he can attach the rope to. The next scene shows the mast and the rope that Link is holding on to, but we can't see Link. We just see the mast and a rope extended downward, and another rope swaying in the wind. The camera angle is pointed towards the sky, and we see the rain coming down quite heavily, and bits of seawater can be seen in the camera frame as well, in the bottom right corner. The next scene shows Link's feet as he is trying to maintain his balance on his ship, on his little boat. Link is wearing brown boots that go about 3 or 4 inches below his knee. They're folded, so they have like a top lip, a top hem. He has on white trousers, gray trousers, that you can see from where his boots end to about his upper thigh, and then you can you see his green tunic. Around him is rope around his feet, a barrel behind him, I believe, but the way he is standing is we can see the back of his heel on his left leg is closest to the camera, and the furthest object of Link is like his knees are pointed away from the camera. Yeah, but his left toe is pointed kind of forward towards the left of the screen. I hope I described that well. And yeah, he's trying to maintain his balance, and there's seawater in the ship, and it's not looking very good for Link. More seawater crashed into his boat. The next scene we see is Link, lightning striking real close to him. We see his boat is in a real steep incline. He's holding on to his rope so he can stay on his ship. The camera angle is it shows the entire ship at a steep angle, incline on a wave, and yeah, he's just trying to hold on to his ship for dear life at this point. It seems like he's holding on. One hand is on the rope, and the other hand is just behind him. The next scene shows Link's face. He seems to be clenched teeth, and he has a little rose on his cheeks. He looks very frustrated with a hint of nervous. His ears are incredibly pointy, going back and up a little bit, like if they were normal, like I don't know what normal elf ears look like, but instead of going the point going directly up, it actually goes back. Like the point would, it's not gonna, if a point had a laser beam, it wouldn't touch the ceiling. It would touch the back corner of the room, the back top corner type of thing. And we can see Link's blue eyes. He has yellow hair that's pretty long. Looks like it's about 6 inches, but it's pretty poofy in the sense that it's just stacked up on itself. He has yellow sideburns, and yeah, what else can we see? Anything else we can notice? He's wearing a blue or a brown sweater and his green tunic over. The next scene shows was Link taking a deep breath, and and a lightning strike descending from the black sky and whacking his ship. Yeah, a white, blue, bright blue lightning comes from the sky and zaps the mast of his ship. And now the screen turns white. An out of focus picture gains focus, and now we see a mountain and on the top of the mountain is the most curious part of the mountain is a white egg with pink spots on it. Around the white egg with pink spots is a ring of clouds. So it's just one ring, but the clouds are connected. The volcano is brown and lifeless, but around the base of it is a bunch of palm trees and bushes, and it looks like there's a lot of life down there. But on the mountain, it doesn't look like there's got a lot going on. We can see the sky behind the mountain. It looks like the same type of clouds that we just saw, but it's a lot lighter, like the lights shining through between the clouds. And the camera looks up, and light is shining, and now the camera panes back. It doesn't paint. The next scene is the back, like the zoom back version. zoomed out version of what we were just seeing, and it shows an island, and our buddy Link in the water close to the island. He's adrift, floating on a piece of wreckage debris. Looks like a I don't know, 6 by 12 by 6 by 4 or something. Looks like a solid piece of wood he's on. To his right of him is a barrel, a wood barrel, a cask maybe, I'm not sure. And to the right of that is his sail, or his mast. Looks like the main rigging of the ship. And he's very close to the island that has the volcano with the pink spotted egg on top of it. Flying above him and the island is a lot of seagulls that are white and black wing tipped. The island has a lot of palm trees around the base, and there's a couple mountains behind the main volcano. I'm assuming it's the main volcano with the egg. I'm just gonna call it the volcano. But yeah, it doesn't. And there's a sand beach with a couple of rocks on it. And yeah, on the left side there's no beach. On the center and all the way on the right side there is beach, and it looks like the island continues towards the right. But on the far left side of the screen, there's nothing but blue ocean and sky. And The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the words appear on the screen. Zelda is the largest word, and to the right of it is 2 palm trees with seagulls, and you can see it in white. The next scene shows gameplay, actual gameplay footage, and it's a stark difference of what we were just seeing. It shows a very cartoony, whimsical, almost claymation type of gameplay graphics. It's it looks like a toy almost, like there's little tiny toys, perfectly crafted toys. Around the center of the screen is very focused. Around the screen, like rimming around the edges of the entire screen, I believe it's the entire screen, or maybe just the top and the bottom. It's a little foggy. I believe it's to make everything look like it's tiny on purpose. I believe it's called forced perspective. And it makes everything, it makes it look like everything's tiny. But what are we looking at? We're looking at a tiny little blue roofed houses, blue terracotta shells, and on top of it has pink flowers, just a couple, on the top right corner, surrounded by a wooden post fence, and it looks like the posts were just cut out from logs, and they're not connected at all. They're just close enough together to provide a fence-like structure. Inside the fence is a tiny, comically drawn chicken, and inside the fence also is some grass. It's about shoulder height, and leading away from the house in an L shape is a path, and our main character Link is on this path. On his left hand he has a sword, which is about as tall as he is, maybe half as tall as he is, and he has on his hat, his green hat with a lighter green fringe, and you can see his yellow hair, and his yellow sideburns. It's a little harder to make any detail from this specific frame from our buddy Link. There's grass all over the place, everywhere. There's grass everywhere but the path our main character Link is on. But you can't cut all the grass, just the tall grass that's about shoulder height for our character Link. On the grass, there's bits of flour here and there in pairs of two, white flowers in pairs of two. There's a chain chomp in the this scene in particular, and our buddy Link is headed towards the chain chomp on the path, but the chain chomp is not on the path; it is off the path, to the top of the screen. And that brings me to another point. This game is not a it doesn't seem like it's top down. It's more like it's not side scroller, it's not a top down game, and it's not it doesn't seem like it would be, but I don't know yet. It looks like it's everything's from like a bird's eye view type of thing, but not like right above you. It's like a 45-degree angle view, looking down at an angle. I believe that's what this game is. Yep, as Link was walking by the chain chomp noticed him and is about to attack him. In the path is a comically drawn chicken, and the chain chomp is in a patch of grass. It's on the lower portion of the grass. It seems like it's guarding a house, which is also another very small house. And on the top right portion of the grass, it looks like there's a tiny fox. And again, the proportions on these animals are a little odd, but they're very cute. The fox has a huge head and huge massive ears and a pretty sizable tail as well, but its body is just absolutely tiny. The chain chomp tried to bite Link, but he couldn't let that happen, so he turned away from the chain chomp. And now we can see Link's pretty cool shield, his Triforce shield, as he's running away from the chain chomp, because now we get to see his right side. Link's eyes are black, like black rocks almost. There's not a lot of detail in the actual character himself, but he still looks really, really cute. The next scene, I believe this is to the right of the house where he was just at. He's chomping down some grass with a sword strike. He with a single sword strike, he's able to cut down about 2, maybe 3 piles of grass. But yeah, the grass looks the grass looks like normal patches of grass, but the top part, like in the center of this patch of grass, is bigger pieces of. It looks like a different kind of plant, and to the right of the screen is a bunch of trees, about 5 trees, and they look really, really almost like Lego blocks. Yeah, he continues playing around in the same patch of grass. He does a big strike with his sword, and he's able to chop down a couple more pieces of grass. The next scene is a top-down view of no, it's the same like a second, like 45-degree angle view, and Link is getting attacked, and he's using his shield to block an energy beam or an energy bubble coming from a I don't even know what kind of creature that is, like a squid, like a red squid. And he's throwing that energy bubble at our buddy Link, and he's inside a walled off, dirt covered pathway, and Link struck him, and he went back pretty far. The next scene shows Link striking the red squid again, but this is a different red squid. Look, there's a blue building, like a lean-to building, and on just where the this is like a walled off path type of thing, and the blue building is against the wall. The next scene shows a castle like building, and Link is on top of it. There's ornately decorated tiles, and yeah, this looks like the roof of the castle, I believe. And Link is walking across the castle, but he's not walking towards the door. The next scene shows Link in a grassy field, but the grass is too short, so he can't cut it. There seems to be a special type of flower surrounding a door that he can't enter, I believe. And there seems to be a bunch of thorns blocking his path. And fish were jumping out of the water, because it turns out that wasn't grass he was walking in. It was green water. The next scene shows looks like Link is talking to a lady in the game, and there's a statue behind her of a bird, a red haired bird. It's a blue bird, but it has like a tuft on the top of his hair, of his head, and it's red. And it's a statue of a bird. Is it flying? I'm not sure. It's got a propeller attached to the bird, and the camera zooms out, and we just see it's inside a courtyard type of deal. And on the bottom of the courtyard, there's a little fox and some wooden posts. The next scene shows Link in the woods, surrounded by, I'm just gonna say, oak trees. They're pretty big, but not in the scale of this game. They're about twice as big as Link is. And on the top of the tree is an owl. And the owl said, "Hoot hoot, brave lad, on your quest to wake the dreamer." The next scene shows a dungeon, and it's quite the complicated dungeon. It's got a lot of arrows, a lot of tile blocks with arrows pointing side and down and up, and you have to make the arrow moves, I believe. Yeah, the arrows are like, they'll show you which way they're like treadmills. So every block is a treadmill, so you'll step on one block and it'll move you to the next block, but that block will have a different arrow, so you'll be going all over the place. And the next scene shows side scroller type of game, where we see Link going across the screen in a dungeon. Looks like there's some Goombas on the bottom, so there is some you'll notice some, if you ever play this game, there'll be some characters in here from Mario as well. This game's a little crazy. They combined a couple little of their properties, Nintendo did, when they made this one. And to the right of the screen is a ladder. Looks like you can use it to try to escape the dungeon. On the background of the dungeon is just large stones. They look like they're red, mortared together, and there's 2 torches on the background lighting up it's a little portion of the stone. And there's 3 Goombas on the bottom, and Link is on a platform above them. Link did a front flip, which is incredible. Link doing a front flip, it's awesome. And he landed right on top of a Goomba. It was a good front flip. So he jumped off this platform and landed on top of a Goomba. The next scene shows our buddy Link fighting a blue pig anamorphic a human-like pig, a blue one, because it's walking on 2 feet. It has a dark blue like t-shirt or a muscle shirt type thing, and it has white eyeballs, and it has tusks on as well. And right behind Link, and the one in front of Link is throwing an energy ball at Link. The one behind Link has a shovel in his hand, or maybe it's a spear. Yeah, it looks more like a spear. And Link struck the one right in front of him with his sword, and the one behind him threw a spear, and the spear hit Link. And Link, once he was struck, he radiated red, like from all over his body, which disappeared quickly. The next scene shows I believe this is some kind of boss or something. It shows Link inside a room. Is this top down? No, it's not top down. I believe it's still the corner, but it looks like it's almost top down. It doesn't look like it's 45 degrees, but I believe it is. So what we see is in this room, on the far side of the room, is a pink duck-like creature with no legs, and it just hops like on its head. So it's got like a duck with wings, but it's got no legs and no back end. So it's pretty much just a duck head with wings, and it's got a pink beak with white eyeballs, and you really can't make out too much more detail on this creature. It has the same mortared stone background that the dungeon had previously. Inside this room is a large log that rolls back and forth across the entire room, and it has spikes in it. And it's going to try to run over Link, but Link is going to have to jump over the log, and it's one continuous log across the entire room. And so Link is going to have to try to jump over the log without getting hit by the log, and he's going to have to keep whacking at the boss, the pink duck-like creature. At the top part of the room is a door, and on the left part of the room is a door. Both doors are flanked by twin candles, which are attached to the wall. The floor has a basic, well, not too basic, a 4 or 5 stone square pattern. That means it's a square with but inside the square there's there's 5 stones inside each square to make a design out of tile. Link jumped over the rolling log and struck the pink duck twice on the beak, causing the duck to cover his face and continuing to jump. The next scene shows 2019 written in stylized golden brown font in a black background. And then it disappears. I'm gonna play the entire trailer without me speaking, so you guys can get the just hear all the audio. But just quickly, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening first came out in 1993 for the Game Boy. Ooh, man. I'm reading the Wikipedia right here. It says, and I quote, Link's Awakening began as a port of the Super NES title The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, developed after hours by Nintendo's staff. It grew into an original project under the direction of Takashi Tezuka, with a story and script created by Yoshiaki Kozumi and Kensuke Tanabe, It is one of the few Zelda games not to take place in Hyrule and does not feature Princess Zelda or the Triforce Relic. The protagonist Link begins the game stranded on Kahonlit Island, a place guarded by a whale-like deity called the Windfish. The player fights monsters and solves puzzles while searching for 8 musical instruments that will awaken the sleeping windfish, and allow him to escape the island. Link's Awakening was critically and commercially successful. Critics praised the game's depth and number of features. Complaints focus on its control scheme and monochrome graphics. And the game was re-released it was called The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color in 1998. So this is a pretty old game, all things being said. So yeah, this is going to be the full trailer. All right, over.